Jack Hickey is a renowned dating guru, personal life coach, and brand marketing specialist who has a burning passion for helping other people become the best possible version of themselves. And he's on the line with us now. How are you doing?
I'm really good, thank you. And yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing great today. Now, your new book, which is called Getting the Girl, what's the basic idea behind the book, first of all?
So the book was written as sort of a modern day guide for
Mm,
modern day dating. Dating has changed astronomically
yeah.
in the last 40 years, and certainly in the last 10 years. You've got the rise of online dating, you've got the rise of first impressions on social media, and the way in which sort of the courtship process works is so different to my dad and my grandfather's day. So it was sort of putting a guide out there for men to help them navigate this tricky path so they don't end up on someone's TikTok or a Snapchat as this weirdo just asked me out. This doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah.
So the book was sort of written to help people navigate the path, but also from a teacher's perspective, because I was a teacher for 5 years. So what I wanted to do was go out there, bring all the research together, all the things I thought would be helpful, explain it in the most simple of terms and say, listen, this is what the research says. If you want to use it, great. If you don't, then that's fine.
Yeah. And I guess dating has changed a lot, particularly in this last year, where you can't really meet up with anyone normally.
Absolutely, yeah. Lockdown has made everyone's skills go a little bit rusty, shall we say?
Yeah.
And even when you go out now, you've got to maintain social distancing. You
Mm.
can't go sit at a table like you would before. Dancing's out the window. So,
Yeah.
how do you go about speaking to a woman that you find attractive? And what are the signs that she's actually attracted to you? Because that's one of the things that we speak about a lot in the book, which is looking out for signs. Can you read her body language that says actually she does want a conversation, or is she saying, actually, I don't really want a conversation, so you're probably better off just to leave her alone a little bit.
Yeah. And what are those signs to look out for if someone's into you?
Oh, so there's many signs that give away when a woman is interested. There are things that she subconsciously does that she doesn't realize. So she'll get quite hot, so she'll begin to scratch her wrist, or she'll play with her hair. She's trying to fluff her hair up and make herself look a bit prettier, a bit like a peacock.
Mm.
Or an interesting one is her feet, actually. If her feet are pointed towards you, it means she's
Ah.
subconsciously thinking in that direction. Whereas if they're pointed away from you, she's thinking, I need to run as fast as I can. I'm aiming towards the exit. If this weirdo
Yeah.
comes, I'm ready. So there are lots of signs, but the most simple one I'd say is if she repeatedly looks in your direction and she smiles, or she gives any inclination where she's not creeped out by you, then perhaps go over and do what I call an indirect opener. So an indirect opener is not going over and saying, oh my God, you're gorgeous, I've been staring at you all night.
Yeah.
It's a throwaway comment that if she wants, she can have a conversation. So it might be something like, hey, do you know where the toilets are in this place? Or I'm not from around here. Do you know somewhere great to go after here? Or can I just get a female opinion? My friend's just been dumped by his girlfriend. He doesn't know what to do. And then if she wants, she can engage in a conversation and you're not conveying too much interest. And if she doesn't, then she can quite politely say, the toilets are over there. You can read from her body language. Okay, you go toilet.
Yeah.
You've not lost face. She doesn't feel creeped out and weirded. So it's
Mm.
about having an indirect opener, which gives you an opportunity and gives them an opportunity to have a conversation.
Yeah, it's important not to just overreact if someone's subtly interested in you, because you might read all sorts of things that are completely untrue.
Exactly, and that happens very often. So we say you
Yeah.
probably need between 4 and 5 what we call indicators of interest.
Mm.
So 4 or 5 is usually a good sign that she may be interested, and that's again why you have the indirect opener, because again you may have read the signs wrong, and you want to sort of test the waters a little bit and just find out where she lies. So, and that's the first stage of the courtship process. So there's 3 stages altogether.
Yeah. And what gave you the idea to write this book in the first place then?
So I was a teacher for many years, and now I work in sort of public relations and marketing, and we spend a lot of time looking at brand and a business's brand. But
Mm.
at the end of the day, you're also your own personal brand. And one of the places people often ask me for advice was, Jack, I've met this girl, she's really nice. What would you do? What would you do?
Yeah.
So I found myself giving advice on this area often. And I thought, well, why is it that some things that we do work really well and some things don't? So I thought, well, I'll go away and do a bit of research. So I spent a good few months pulling together all the key pieces of research and being like, oh my God, that's so interesting. And this is so interesting. And I really wanted to break down these complex issues into the simplest form possible to just give guys a bit of a chance now, because, you know, we struggle as it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And how come you know so much about this? Is it just from your research, or do you have kind of personal experience as well?
I can say I'm never lonely, if that helps. I've done quite well in that area myself over time, and that was a journey in itself. You know, it began when I was a teenage boy, and I made so many mistakes. And I was quite fortunate where I worked in town, sort of promoting events, running nightclubs and bars and stuff. So I'd be out maybe 3-4 times a week, and for a course of a night, you'd speak to maybe 50, 100 people. You'd have all these interactions, and you would very quickly work what worked well, what didn't work well. And over sort of 10-year period, I think it worked out something like 25,000 interactions or something you have. So over time, you see patterns, and you see things that work really well and things that don't work really well. And then it was just about finding out why this works well, taking the research, putting it together, explaining it in the simplest of terms. And the book sort of maps out a 3-stage process for men. You know, you build attraction, then you build safety. You know, women need to feel safe and secure around you and comfortable. And then you close the deal. And closing the deal depends on the person. It could be as simple as sex. It could be you want a relationship. It could be you want something more. But only you know that. And it draws upon sales techniques. It draws upon, you know, Think and Grow Rich, mindset books, the best of what's out there, and putting it into a framework for men to help them speak to women, because a lot of men are absolutely terrified of women.
Yeah, absolutely. And an interesting thing is that you actually ran for Parliament once as well.
I did, yes. I ran in Leicester West under Theresa May, so I have experience networking in those areas, and that was really helpful in this, because I had to do lots of research when I worked in those sort of roles. And you want to go knock on a stranger's door and try and ask them to vote for you. There's some interesting sights you meet there. You meet people in their dressing gowns, people with dogs, people that really don't want to talk to you. So you have to be able to quickly build rapport. And I was quite fortunate that the book went to the #1 bestseller on Amazon and #2 on Kindle. So everyone else must have quite enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, 11,763 votes I see here. That's impressive.
That's correct. Yeah, I didn't do too bad.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, of all the candidates for Conservative in that particular election, you probably did quite well, all things considered.
I did. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So, your book, where is it available if we want to have a little read of it?
Yeah, so as a special promotion today, I've made the book free on Kindle. So it's free for anyone to download today until midnight. It is on Amazon.com and Amazon.co.uk. It was #1 for dating on Amazon and #2 on Kindle for psychological training, sex education, loads of different categories it ranked for. But as a special promotion to commemorate reaching #1, and for you inviting me on your show, I decided to give it away for free up until midnight tonight.
Absolutely. That's quite a nice thing to do. Well, thank you very much for joining us on the show today. It's been great to have you on.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.